Hola, my name is Irene and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a bit of a more personal video because I have something super exciting to tell you guys and to show you, and it's this. This is my British passport. I arrived this week, like a couple of days ago, and this means that I officially a British citizen. I'm officially British. I'm super excited for this. So I thought that for today it might be interesting to talk to you about the process of how I became a British citizen in 2025 after 6 years. So if you are curious about how is becoming a British citizen, if you are thinking of applying or you just want to stay here to learn more about the UK and its processes, stay here in this video. I have my cup of tea because now as a British I need to drink tea, and I'm going to explain you all about my journey. Let's go. So for some context, I am from Spain, I am from Madrid, but I moved to London in 2018, so more than 6 years ago. It's quite shocking when I say out loud that I've been living here for 6 years. So this was me the day that I moved to London. I see these photos of the first days and I think I was like such a baby. I was 25. I arrived here without a job. I didn't have anywhere to live, so I moved here with my partner. He was the one that had a job. We were moving in together, but I didn't have anything like that. First days and weeks, I remember them as very exciting and stressful. So everything was new, the new neighborhood, a new way of doing things, new supermarkets, new streets, new everything. I remember those days with like a warm heart and very warm feelings, because it's so exciting when you move for the first time to a place, and especially to London. That I visited London earlier that year in 2018 for the first time, just like 4 or 5 days, but I didn't have a clue on what it would be to live here for real. I started the process of finding a job. You need to get your NIN number. You need to do all these bureaucracy things that we all hate. It was, I remember those times like super stressful, that the first year went out like so fast, with lots of good memories. So now the process is a bit different, because now that Brexit happened, you need to apply through a visa to move to the UK. But when I arrived to London, you didn't have to do that. So you have something called pre-settled status. With that, you had the right to work and live in the UK. So I had that for like about 5 years, and then after 5 years passed, you switch to the settled status. So once you have the settled status, you have to live in the UK for 1 more year to have the indefinite right to remain. That is such a difficult word. And then once you have that, you can apply to become a British citizen, basically. So what do you need to apply for a British citizenship? So you need so many things. I mean, the process is long, the process is expensive, and the process is long again. It's very, very long. So once you are here like 6 years in the UK, you have to apply for the British citizenship and follow like some steps. First, you have to take an English test, which is like the funniest experience ever. Basically, it doesn't matter like if you work or live in an English environment, or you talk in English in a daily basis. They need to make sure that you know English as a language and you know how to communicate with people, things like that. So you have to take a test, and the test is £150. It's just a speaking test, basically. So you get there, you do it in couples, or at least you do it in pairs, or at least I did it in pairs. I did it with another person, and then the person that is examining you. And they ask you some questions to make sure that you understand English, you know how to communicate, you know how to keep a conversation going, things like that. But the test is like 10, 15 minutes laptops. That was an interesting experience because it has been like a long time since I take an English test. That was very, very funny. Then another thing that you have to do is to take the Life in the UK test. So you have these 3 books. I don't have them here because I left them to a friend. But basically you have 3 books where you have to study the history of the UK. In the test, they ask you 24 questions that are multiple choice, and they ask you things about history, about the culture. It can be very logical questions, such as who is the current prime minister nowadays, or who is the king, things like that, like very logical questions. But it can be some random ones, like at what time they open the pub, how many square meters is like a national park, things like that. You need to kind of study to take the test. You need to read the book, read about the history. For me, it was interesting because I enjoy studying history. I studied history in university, so I enjoy knowing more about the history of the country. It's been so funny because with some British friends that I have done a test to them, and some of them have failed. So that's very interesting and very funny. Then also you have to prove that you are a good citizen, and what this means is like you don't have like criminal records, that you have your taxes up to date, things like that. So yeah, you have to prove that you are in good character, and then you have to fill out an application that is never ending. This application where you have to put things like your address from the past 5 years, all the travels that you have done in the past 5 years, which was a nightmare. I had to make like a spreadsheet, break down all the travels that I have done, which are a lot, and go through my phone to check the photos that I'm taking in each of my trips, because I didn't remember the trips that I take them, because you need to make sure that you live in the country enough days for them to approve your citizenship. And also you have to ask questions like your parents' details, about their job, their address as well, so many things. So then when you have like all these tests taken and passed and everything, you have to wait up to 6 months. I think it was, for me it was fairly quick. I think I had to wait only like 1 month, and then once your citizenship is approved, you can you have your group British ceremony. And what does that mean? So you have to go to the city hall of your council, and there you have a ceremony with a bunch of people, and you have to take an oath or an affirmation of allegiance, and basically promise that you are going to be faithful for this country, and yeah, you are going to respect their laws, and you are going to become like a good British citizen. I had some like videos taken for when I was taking my group ceremony, so I guess I'll post it here like somehow, so you can see what I'm talking about.
A British citizen. I will be faithful in charge of the third. His heirs. Very well done. Okay. Now we have.
So after the ceremony, you officially become a British citizen, and you take this beautiful photo with the speaker of your council, and then you have the opportunity to apply for the British passport. And what does it mean? More money. I think I didn't mention the price of the application, but it's more than £1,500, which is a lot. Plus all the tests that you have to take that you have to pay separately, and then you have to apply for the British passport, which is like £88. For me, it was a shock, because the last time I applied for my Spanish passport, it was €26. So that was quite shocking. It's quite expensive, this passport, and that made me like value more my own passport and how cheap it is, like to spend 26 pounds every 5 years, and now when I renew it will be every 10 years, is quite cheap, to be honest. So yeah, you have to apply for the passport. You have to upload your photo. One thing that I found so curious, for example, when I have renewed my Spanish passport, you have to take like a physical photo there. I don't know, because the last time I renewed it was 5 years ago, so I don't know if the process had changed now. But you have to take the physical photo there, so they can make the passport that same moment. Through here, you apply online. You can upload the photo online, so you can take the photo at home if you want, and you apply online, and then you send your Spanish passport and the certificate of naturalization that you receive the day of your ceremony. You send it there, and then they send you back the British one and then the documents that you have sent, which I think is quite crazy and quite different. It's so funny to see how different are the process in every country. But for example, in Spain, I never had to send my Spanish passport and for nothing, like at any time. So I find so interesting that you have to do this in order to get your British passport. I'm going to open my British passport. Hola. No, it has the two last names. Castro Moreno. So yeah, now I'm finally a British citizen. I can tell you that nothing really changed. Maybe people will start asking you if you are going to change your accent. I am not. I have this accent forever and ever, I guess. So yeah, that's basically my journey of how I became a British citizen. It's so crazy now. So now one of the things that I can do in this country is to vote, which I'm looking forward to be honest. It's so hard sometimes when you are in a country and you don't have like the power to say anything, and you are trying to follow the politics and what's happening in the world, but you cannot do anything about it in that sense. And now that you have the right to vote, it makes you feel like part or something. I don't know if you know what I mean. And I am like very lucky to be able to keep both passports, so I don't have to give up my Spanish nationality. I can keep both, which I think is amazing, and yeah, I feel so lucky about it. So yeah, this has been 6 very important years of my life, of me living abroad, living in the UK. It has been like a lot of change of jobs, a lot of change of houses, a lot of good memories and bad memories in this country. To be able to finally have my passport, that was like one of my dreams, like that I had since forever, to have 2 nationalities. I always wanted to do that, and now that I have it, I can only think like, where should I where should I travel first? So yeah, this has been my journey as a British citizen. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions about the process, and yeah, I could potentially do another video if you have questions about it. I hope you found it interesting, and yeah, I will see you very soon in a new video. Ciao!